everybody, welcome to Crandall Reviews. Today taking a look at Central Intelligence starring Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. No major spoilers. I'm going to touch on the plot and stuff that's in the marketing, so no bitching about it in the comments, okay? You've been warned. It's just stuff that's in the marketing. If you've seen any of the ads or the trailers, you already know this. I'll give you a warning if I'm going to delve into any actual spoilers. So here we go. Central Intelligence begins 20 years ago, where Kevin Hart is the king of his high school. His nickname is the Golden Jet, and everybody thinks he's got the most potential to be something great in the future. Dwayne Johnson plays Fat Robbie Weirdick, who has a very embarrassing experience, and the only person who's nice to him is Kevin Hart. Flash forward to 20 years later, Kevin Hart is stuck in sort of a dead-end job. He's got a beautiful wife, but he's not happy. He doesn't really know where his life went wrong. Dwayne Johnson's character is now called Bob Stone, and he works for the CIA. Just before their 20-year high school reunion, the two cross paths and get caught up in a big CIA plot with some crazy action and a lot of buddy comedy material thrown our way. The reason that this movie, for the most part, works really well is the chemistry between Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart is real, and it is off the charts. What I like is Kevin Hart always is sort of, Kevin Hart, man, he's like Kevin Hart, yo, he's Kevin Hart. He's really manic and kind of like a feral rat, and he's likable though. So he's a regular guy. He's the straight man, but he's manic and he's likable. And I really do think that he gets some really funny lines in this. The most surprising part is that Dwayne Johnson is big and intimidating, but his character in this is a super geek who loves unicorns and fanny packs and is just super enthusiastic about everything, over the top, unashamed of what he loves, and is just really goofy at heart. And actually, that's what stands out in this movie, is that usually Dwayne Johnson would just be sort of like this slick Jason Bourne type, and as Kevin Hart says, and you've seen it probably in the ads, he's Jason Bourne in jorts. He is the nerd Jason Bourne, and that dynamic is something that we haven't really seen that much in movies, and casting Dwayne Johnson as that was ingenious and adds a lot to the comedy, and Kevin Hart and him have a great rapport, a lot of really funny lines. When the plot kicks in, this is a sitcom level plot. The movie is written by Ike Barinholtz, David Stassen, who work on the Mindy Project and are sitcom writers and are hilarious. And the director, Rawson Marshall Thurber, gave it a rewrite, and he's the guy who did Dodgeball and We're the Millers. So this is a really funny movie. There is a lot of really good jokes. It's PG-13, so it doesn't go too far. There is one F-bomb that was off the wall and unexpected where it's used, but was really funny. Now, like I said, sitcom level plot and also sitcom level action, in my opinion. So if you are looking for a movie that is like Lethal Weapon or Bad Boys, where we get the buddy cop dynamic or the comedy of, you know, a fish out of water, the odd couple sort of thing, we get that, but we don't get that explosive level of action that some of these other movies in the past, like Rush Hour, say, have had. This one has decent action in it, but there's only a couple of action scenes. The one that we see in most of the trailers is one in an office building, and that's the highlight as far as the action goes. And the finale is not bad action-wise, but there's a few hand-to-hand stuff thrown in throughout. But for the most part, if you're an action buff going to see this, the action takes a backseat. But if you're a fan of really broad, really funny, goofy comedy, not necessarily the smartest comedy you've ever seen, then this movie does deliver. I was laughing throughout. I was surprised at how much I was laughing because of the chemistry of the two leads. It elevates the material, and Thurber does have a steady eye for what works comedy-wise, and his comedy timing and the way that the movie's edited does really work and is really well done. So he's a guy who makes movies that on paper look like they're going to kind of be shit, and then they have some decent laughs. They might not be super memorable, but while you're watching them, you're going to have a great time. This falls into that. Now I'm going to delve into a little bit of spoiler territory. So if you haven't seen Central Intelligence, turn this video off, come back once you have, or if you don't care if the plot is ruined, then keep watching. So like I said, this movie, the action takes a backseat to the comedy, and that's fine, because the comedy really works. There's really funny stuff. Like the psychiatrist visit is hilarious. The sleepover is really funny. But when we're focusing on the plot, a lot of this stuff feels telegraphed and really predictable. So the moment that they tell us that Dwayne Johnson's partner was killed, and they flash back and they show us that Aaron Paul is Dwayne Johnson's partner who died, the minute that happens, you know that the Black Badger is going to be Aaron Paul. Because one, this scene didn't need to be in the movie unless that character is going to come back. Two, they got Aaron Paul, who you don't need in your movie unless that character is going to come back. And three, they try and make us think that Dwayne Johnson might be the Black Badger, which would go against everything that we know about the character for the entire runtime. And those small looks where they try and make us think that he might be the bad guy are a waste of time and a waste of energy, because there's no way anybody believes that the Dwayne Johnson is going to end up being the Black Badger. So that stuff was pretty weak. The fact that the CIA doesn't know what's going on made them look like fools. And really, when Kevin Hart can just magically come from a cafeteria and bust the Rock out and go on their way, just this normal accountant dude, it really stretches plausibility. But it's a comedy, so you go with it. But all that seriousness of the spy plot, we spend a bit of time for something that we don't believe for a minute is going to turn out the way that they're trying to mislead us that it might. I really did like Amy Ryan as the CIA agent, though, who's tracking down Johnson. She was good. I liked her since, The Office and Gone Baby Gone. So it's fun to see her in a comedy. Good cameo work from Melissa McCarthy. I liked her popping up. Jason Bateman, I absolutely love, but the dude has two modes. Likeable schmo, who's kind of a douche, and full-on complete douchebag. He's really riding the full douchebag in this one, almost to the point of excess, almost to the point of too cartoony. But it's a comedy, so you go with it. But the guy's got to be a little bit careful, because that brand is going to really stick with him, complete and utter douchebag. And in this, just unapologetically so, to my annoyance. I really actually would have preferred if that character had turned around, and that would have been funnier to me rather than mustache twirling douchebag. But that being said, for the most part, this is a big, fun summer comedy. If you're looking for a lot of fun and you like Johnson and Hart, you're going to have a great time. If you don't like Kevin Hart's brand of humor, I feel that he might tip the scales to a bit too annoying, but I like it. I think he's great. I love his manicness, and him and The Rock just are having so much fun. So does the audience. So that's Central Intelligence. Like the video, hit the comments. Let me know if you saw it, if you loved it, if you hated it. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and thanks a lot for watching.